What's up, family? This is going to be a real sensitive, maybe emotional video, a real intimate one. Buckle up. It's crazy how you grow up or were born into families thinking that we're going to be loved, thinking that we're going to be accepted and embraced. And you got to worry about all these other people that might take advantage of you, that might dog you out. But what happens when you grow up in a family and it's your own family members that cause you the most pain? What happens when it's your own family that dogs you out the most for no reason whatsoever? What happens when it's your own family members that betray your trust and do everything within their power to sabotage your character and to lie on you and to destroy your name to others? What happens when you hook up with people thinking that they'll have your back and they dog you out and they destroy your character to everybody else that'll listen? When they walk out of your life and leave you thinking that you're going to fail, thinking that you ain't nobody. What happens when it's your own family members and loved ones that physically abuse you, that verbally and emotionally abuse you? See, I grew up in the 70s, and in the 70s, especially within the black community, we had this thing that we were taught and programmed to believe in, that what's done in the home stays in the home. It's as if they didn't want the rest of the world, the rest of the family to know how twisted and sick they were. It's as if they didn't want anybody to know how abusive they were. It's as if they had this image of the family's all that, all while the family is the one dogging you out. And so you grow up with this twisted sense of family because you grow up believing that you got to have your family's back at all times and that you got to be committed and you got to be loyal to your family. All the while, your family is the one dogging you out. All the while, it's your family that's hurting you, that's betraying you, that's lying on you, that's stealing from you, that's abusing you. What happens when it's your family that hurts you? What happens when it's those people that you hook up with and you would ride or die for them because you've been programmed? Blood is thicker than water. Blood before anything else. And blood has hurt you. Blood has broken you. And so you hook up with these individuals and you have that mentality, I'd ride and die for you, I got you. And they're all sabotaging your name. They're all destroying who you are to the rest of the world, to anybody that will listen to them. And then they abandon you. They neglect you. They abuse you emotionally. What happens when everybody that you look towards for love, for acceptance, rejects you? That's been my life. That's been my life. It's been my life. Since I was 2 years old, when my father murdered my mom. It's been my life. Church sexually abused me twice. It's been my life. My own siblings, my blood siblings, my oldest sister dogging me out, lying on me. My younger sister doing the same. What happens when all you want is to be loved? And everywhere you look and you think that these people should have your back, these people should love you, these people should accept you, are the ones that reject you. How do you learn to love yourself? Through all of that. How do you learn to accept yourself? Through all of that. How do you not become addicted to drugs? How do you not become incarcerated or they're living a life of crime and just craziness? How do you not lose your mind when it's your family that's pushing you to lose your mind? How do you not lose it when your own flesh and blood, who don't know the struggles that you've gone through, dog you out? When you would have done anything, everything to protect them, to nurture them, to keep and protect them and provide for them. If we're honest, this has been the struggle for the great majority of us in some way, shape, or form. And what I propose to you is that there is a beautiful lesson in all of that, in all of that pain, in all that rejection, in all that abandonment, in all of that hurt. There is a beautiful lesson. Because although their intent may not have been to destroy you, although their intent may not have been to hurt you, a lot of them, that was their intent. A lot of them, they wanted to destroy you. How do you not hate them? How do you learn to forgive them and move past all of that? I've had to learn that I had to stop taking it personal. It wasn't about me. The pain, the hurt, the craziness that they did to me wasn't really about me. It was about their own issues. It was about their own issues. I just happened to be there. I just happened to be the one that caught the hell. I just happened to be the one that had to deal with their sickness, deal with their issues. But it wasn't really about me. Because if I wasn't there, somebody else would have had to go through all of that. If I wasn't there, somebody else would have had to experience all of that. So it wasn't about me. And that was a hard thing for me to grasp. That was a hard lesson for me to understand. Their issues had nothing to do with me personally. Next lesson that I had to learn in regards to all of that was through their pain, through the hurt, the abandonment, the rejection, the hatred, the hell, the emotional, physical, sexual abuse, I had to learn how to love me. When it didn't seem like nobody else loved me, I had to learn to love me. When it seemed like everybody else walked out of my life, when it seemed like everybody else turned their back on me, when it seemed like everybody else was lying on me and trying to destroy my character, I had to learn to accept and embrace myself. And because I went through all the hell that I went through, I learned to accept and embrace myself. I still have family members that dog me out. I still have people that I was intimate with that try to destroy everything about me. To each their own. I don't allow the actions of others to impact who I am. What others think, how others feel about me has absolutely nothing to do with me at all. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn. So regardless of what they say, regardless of what they do, I love me. I accept me. I know who I am. And because I know who I am, I know what I stand for. I know my intent. I know my value. And so what they think has no bearing on me whatsoever. None whatsoever. And so I've had to forgive a lot of people in my family. A lot of people. I've had to forgive a lot of women that have dogged me out. A lot of them. And it's interesting. Because in '95, I began the process of legally changing my name, first name and last name, because I cut myself off from the family. And sometimes that's one of the hardest lessons that you have to make. Is like, man, F this family, I'm done. And it don't mean that you hate your family. It just means that you have to understand your worth. And sometimes being around your family is the worst place for you to be. Sometimes, in order to reach your potential, you got to get as far away from your toxic family as possible. It's not that you think you're better than anybody else. It's you want to accomplish some things in life, and you're not going to be able to do that hanging out with your family or being attached to your family. And I know I have a lot of family members that'll probably see this and be offended. I don't care. I don't care, because ain't none of them going to say anything to me. They'll talk about me behind my back like they always do. I don't care. I absolutely don't care. But I changed my last name to Ami. Ami is Hebrew for my people, my tribe. Through all of my pain and suffering, I had to discover who my people really was, who my tribe really is. And your tribe, your people, your clan ain't always your family that you're born into. I love you guys. Peace.